Welcome, Dog Matt, to the apartment. God, what a way to start a video, eh? With a little unboxing. How about that guy? Little dog rug, now sleeping on the couch. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that just the sweetest thing you've ever seen? Welcome back to another video, everyone. It's me, Elliot, also known as Elliot is a Cool Guy. If you have never heard of me before, look me up. There's quite a few Google results. A lot of you may be disappointed in general that I'm a Photoshop user. A lot of people are like, oh, Elliot, what a joke. You know, you turn on an Elliot video and you're like, oh, I can't wait to learn more about my favorite program, Adobe Illustrator. Of course he's going to use Illustrator. He's a graphic designer. Every graphic designer knows how to use Adobe Illustrator, right? Wrong. I've been a Photoshop user pretty much all my life, but I am very excited to say that due to your negative comments, I have been learning Adobe Illustrator. Thank you. No, in all seriousness, I kind of felt like I was at a roadblock with the channel in that, like, I was like, what is next? Like, what do I need to do to kind of impress you guys? And I think that the actual thing I needed to do was learn Illustrator. So I've been learning it over on my Twitch channel, right? I've been kind of spending my time learning it over there. It's working out. It's actually working out. I genuinely have stopped using Photoshop for pretty much everything. I will only use it if I actually need to, shop a photo, right? Like do a little bit of photo manipulation. But now I just use Illustrator for everything. And let me tell you, it is actually a very useful tool. Who would have thought? Who would have thought Adobe Illustrator would be more suited at graphic design than Adobe Photoshop? Who would have thought? But yeah, I know how to use it now, which is really, really cool. So a few of the last posts that I've been making on my Instagram page are all done in Illustrator. In fact, I made a post saying that I made this in Illustrator and it got an overwhelming amount of comments. What I noticed most is, and I think this is quite funny, this is a little bit of like, meta thinking for Elliot in terms, because like I'm not super interested in graphic design, but I'm very interested in graphic designers. Graphic designers are like, wow, there's a lot to unpack in every single graphic designer, let me tell you. And I got like 200 comments from people pretty much just saying like their experience with Illustrator. It was interesting, but it was like, wow, like you guys really want to tell me your Illustrator experience. So, hey, go you, good on ya. Keep at it, yeah. Keep at it. But in this video, I figured I might, teach you a little bit of what I've been taught about Adobe Illustrator. Now, don't think that this video is some sort of tutorial, okay? Yes, it will be in the playlist Tutorials by Elliot. Yes, it will be probably advertised as a tutorial, but look, I think of this more as like, these are the things that I've learned and I want to show you, rather than like you will get value out of this. Like it's very weird, but it'll make sense. It's like, yeah, you may not get value out of this because you may know what these techniques are, but I would like to show you, like I'm showing a parent, how, like, I want you to be proud of me. That's what this video is for, okay? You are my parents. I'm not going to even go there. A special thanks, before we get into the Illustrator side of things, to two users specifically. My two dear friends over on my Twitch channel, Brady and Gio. All of their socials, that's their Twitch channels and their Instagram links, are going to be chucked in the little description down below. Please do check these guys out. They're some of the most talented designers I have ever met, and also some of the nicest people I've ever met in terms of how generous they are with their time. I have a community over on Twitch that's also gone to Discord, and the amount of times I've been on voice calls with these guys and they just want to share their knowledge, right? And it's very good knowledge. Like some of their work will blow you away, right? So most definitely check them out, and a big thanks to them for helping me on this journey amongst many other designers over on that Twitch stream. Could be you as well if you come watch the stream. But yeah, big thanks to them. This video wouldn't be possible without them. Brady and Gio, I love you. Thank you. And just before I end this long intro, apparently my intros are long. Apparently my intros are long. People have been commenting about it. Whatever. Side note, to make this intro even longer, my best performing video has the longest intro. Okay? What does that mean? If you guys have got issues with the long intros, then why did it do well? Yeah? I'm going to keep them long. I enjoy the talking. It makes me feel more connected to my audience. But make sure you remember to hit that subscribe button. I would love to hit a bigger number soon. That would be great. Okay, let's get into this. Here we are in Adobe Illustrator, your favorite program, and now my favorite program. I just wanted to show you this really quickly. This is the Adobe Illustrator file for my font video, and I just want to show you guys. This is like the show and tell segment. That, like, you know, how good is this, right? I didn't even use the artboard. Isn't that so cool? This is what Adobe Illustrator. You know, I was actually really against like designing outside of the artboard, but the more I use it, the more I'm completely obsessed. I think if you look at some of my Photoshop files, I don't even want to show them to you. Like the amount of layers that I used, with each layer being like a separate artboard, essentially, like grouped together, right? It was just a disaster. I mean, it made sense in my head, but wow, being able to just go off the grid like this, absolutely going off the grid, I feel like a new man. They should hire me at they should hire me. All of them. Don't ask her. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. Okay, the first thing I wanted to show you is the first video on this channel is a tutorial for a gradient orb, right? And that tutorial still holds up, might I add, if you're looking to do it in Photoshop. And I personally think that the result you get from making a gradient orb in Photoshop, at least with the tutorial, the way that I do it, I prefer how it looks in the end. I think it's probably because you can kind of like, I don't know, adding noise is a lot easier on Photoshop and it's not vectorized and all that, so it kind of makes it a lot easier to get a real sharp, like noisy effect, like quite a distressed noisy effect, which I really like. But you can definitely do it in Illustrator, and that's something that I have been learning, right? And it's very simple. So let me show you how you can make your own little gradient orb in Illustrator. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a circle, but it can really be any shape you want because this is Adobe Illustrator and the slogan is anything is possible. What we can then do is we're going to do this little mesh tool. We're going to make a mesh. We're just going to click the mesh, click the circle, okay? And that's going to create a little mesh here, right? And that's already looking really good. And that's it. No, we can now change each individual point, right? We can make a few points like that, and we can go around and we can click a point, for example, and we can fill that in with any given color. Yeah, it's already that's a pretty cool feature, is it not? So we can go around and we can kind of like change each of these anchor points, you know, mixing them up a little bit, doing whatever we want. And then, of course, with this the selection tool, which I've been learning, you can just kind of like take one of the points and drag it around like this, right? So we're getting those kind of sharp edges that I really like even edges like this, the real distorted ones. I think those are the best edges in the long run. So I really kind of like playing into those with, of course, like the goal of kind of taking this into Photoshop and adding a little bit of noise. But yeah, you can kind of just like really play around with that mesh and get a cool little thing going. You know, and then this isn't the best orb in the world, but you kind of get the idea, right? Please tell me you get the idea. But yeah, after playing around with it, you can kind of like, you know, delete certain points as well if you want to change things. Never mind, cut that. That was embarrassing. The more you play, the more you'll kind of explore and have a crack. And then, you know, I think you want to really be aiming for those kind of like sharp edges like that just give it a little bit of depth and make it feel a little bit 3D. Yeah, a little bit 3D. So I'm just going to keep going around like this for a little while. And I'm just going to see if I can make like a cool orb. So I'll be right back. So here's kind of what I have. Yeah. I'm still very much getting the hang of it, but I think there's definitely a lot of potential just from that mesh tool to make a cool gradient mesh. So just thought I'd show that off to you if you did not know about the mesh tool, because I didn't know what it was, and now I do, and it's changed my life forever. So that is the mesh tool, and it's very cool, if you're wondering. Another thing I really like doing in my work is making like nice little abstract shapes, like little rounded rectangles with some sort of warp going on. Some people call them Pringles because of the way they end up turning out. They have like a little bit of depth to them, a little bit of a 3D nature. And I knew how to do them on Photoshop really easily using the warp tool, which is a very simple thing to use. But you can also do that in Illustrator very easily as well using the envelope mesh, which is really, really cool. Oh God. This is what happens, kids. I swear to God, I was like quite a well-read, quite a smart guy going through like most of my life. And then I stopped like reading, and I'm getting to this point where I'm like, wow, like I'm forgetting like how to pronounce how to actually say it, like I'm losing words. I'm forgetting how to, I don't even know what I'm saying. A little bit of an existential crisis for you. Keep reading. That's the Elliot message. Keep reading, and one day you'll learn more than me. Okay, so let's make a rounded rectangle here. Let's just do a nice little black and white one, just like that. Too easy. We can of course drag the curves in like that. Oh my God, what a joy! Bump the stroke up a little bit as well, and then what we can do is we can go into Object. Envelope distort, and then you go make with mesh. Okay, make with mesh, and then you can kind of, up to you for this part of it, depending on how abstract you kind of want it to be. I find just doing a 2x2 works the best. I've tried a few different little combos. And then we can go into our direct selection tool here with the keyboard shortcut of your choice, and you just kind of like move it around like this, right? You just kind of move it just like that. It's super easy, super chill, and you can get some really cool looking shapes going on if you're looking to make some sick little abstract shapes. What I like about this as well is you get the differing stroke length, right? And this was my favorite thing about doing it on Photoshop, is that in some parts it's definitely a lot thicker than others, right? And that gives it a cheeky little bit of depth, yeah? So I think that is very cool. And another thing, of course, if you were to do this on Photoshop, it would be a rasterized little object, yeah? Like a just a flat layer. If I want to just change the color of this, I can go into this button here and edit the contents, and I can literally just change the color to anything that I want. I can change it to my signature yellow if I wanted to, or the yellow that I was using for an Adobe job that I did once a long time ago, or this nice cream color. Yeah, the possibilities are absolutely endless, and I think that's really awesome and just makes it for a lot. It's just so much easier in the long run, you know. And I think that's the main thing I'm enjoying about Illustrator so far. This sounds like it's sponsored by Illustrator. It's not at all. It is not at all. It's just like, this is regret. What you are seeing is regret from not listening to people for the last 3 years when they said just start learning Illustrator, because it really isn't that hard. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. I think I hate Photoshop now. Oh no. Photoshop. I didn't think you were there.
It's okay.
Oh no, I'm seriously so sorry. I didn't mean to say any of that. Why would I?
I know.
Hey. You have been there for me for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah? You made this career.
Yeah.
Illustrator's got nothing on you for that. I take back what I said. I still love you.
Okay. Okay.
Are we good?
No.
We're not?
I want revenge.
Revenge?
Yeah. You've gone too far this time, Elliot. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Well, there you go. I guess changing programs is a lot harder than I thought. I've now got an enemy for life. Rats. You can also like duplicate these and then give it a nice little cool shadow, right? Go into Object, Blend. I'm sure you all know the Blend tool, the amazing Blend tool, which it is. I will say that it is very nice. And then make like a cool blend, which I think is pretty sick. And that looks amazing. Like it's just a, yeah, you know. That looks so good on its own already. So yeah, very cool way to make abstract shapes in Illustrator. Super easy, super fun. If you didn't know about this feature, then I'm about to blow your mind, because this absolutely blew my mind. If you just create like a few little, you know, like if you create one shape, right, you hold down Alt. This is pretty common across all programs. You hold down Alt and maybe Shift, for example, to kind of like separate it like that. and make a second copy, if you press Control D, you will duplicate that image. You'll duplicate that action, right? Not even just, this isn't even just like a built-in, command for specifically duplicating something, right? You're duplicating that action. You could take all of these circles, for example, hold Alt, move them like that, and then just keep pressing Control D, and there we go. We have a square of circles, and that is so easy to do. You just can make a grid like that on the spot. So Control D, very cool friend, new friend unlocked on Illustrator. I really enjoy this tool, and if you didn't know about it, now you do. I got you. Another thing to mention is that blending modes are still very much active in this program, which is something that I didn't realize for a long time. If you get two shapes, for example, something like this, you change up the colors a little bit. And if you go into on the object on this main tool here, the selection tool, and you press opacity, they're hidden away in here. Right, so they've absolutely hidden the blending modes from us, and there's not as many as Photoshop. But that being said, they're still there. So if you're making if you're looking to make some cool effects, they are very much still there, and that is still an option for you. If you maybe you're a Photoshop user looking to make the switch to Illustrator, it is definitely still an option if you rely on those. Another thing worth mentioning is the type on a path tool. The amount of times I tried to learn, I think I watched like 3 different YouTube tutorials at one point, and I still watch those YouTube tutorials every time I have to do it in Photoshop on how to because everyone loves putting text in a circle, right? Who doesn't love doing text in a circle? It's the most epic thing you could do in graphic design. It's so cool. Doing text on like the outside of a circle, right? Like the top arc, for example, is super easy, right? We all know that's easy. In Photoshop, you just grab a circle and then you kind of like get the type tool and you do it along the top, and you would just write on top. Yeah, super easy, no worries at all. But then of course the issue is when you get too big, right? You kind of like get to this point down here where you can't read it anymore. And if you did a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom, then you can't read that bottom part, and that's a disaster. So how do you get it on the inside here? How do you get the bottom part like on the inside there? Yeah, and that's such a great question. The way that I've been doing it is just with the type on a path tool. It's so easy. All you got to do is use this thing called the pen tool, which I have no idea what that is. You just use the pen tool, and you just make like a, oh, what am I doing? Wait. You get the pen tool, you make a simple curve. Oh God, I swear to God, I was better at this like 2 days ago. We're gonna do a no fill. You get the pen tool, you do that, and then you just kind of like, drag it around like this. You just take it, and then you just get your type on a path tool, and then you just put the type in the path, and there's your lorem ipsum. There's your interior circle, and that's just so good. This is quite hard to do it's very frustrating to do in Photoshop, if you're wondering. So I figured I would show that it's quite easy to do in Illustrator. It's a little mental note for me. Okay? Good stuff. Don't judge me. And a final cheeky thing I wanted to show you. I think this is one of my favorite tools of all time. If we get a block of text on the screen like this, if you go into this thing here, this is possibly the best invention I've ever seen in any program ever in the history of my graphic design experience, right? This is ridiculous. First, you can just kind of change things around here and then experiment with different colors on the fly without having to worry about bloody going back and undoing things. It just kind of happens all here. You can change to a specific color theme if you want. If you have it in the color you can do a color library kind of stuff. You can do the Renaissance. Look at that. What is this? What does this mean? It's good. It is all good. You can even go into the advanced options, right? The advanced options, and you can specifically change each color that you can see, right? You can go into a specific color. I am currently, I think, in the Renaissance color scheme, so that is not good. So let me just fix that. You can go into a color like this. You can double click on that, and you can just play around. You can just play around and you can just experiment with new colors and do whatever the hell you want. And that's ridiculous. You can also drag them around. So you can swap them on the fly like that if something's not working. You don't have to go in, change the color of the layer, highlight something, change the fill color, whatever it is. You just kind of have this tool at your disposal. You can change like the hue on the fly. What the hell? Why did no one tell me about this in the past? Because this is like the best thing I've ever seen in the world. And get over it. It's so cool. I cannot express to you how amazing this is as a tool for graphic designers. Even that's someone who only uses 3 colors anyway, you know? I still find this helpful. So maybe that'll be of use to you. I think the recolor artwork tool is very nice. Very good, Illustrator. Thank you for making my life and others easier. When you put it all together, you get something a little bit like this. Yeah, this is one of my favorite posts that I've made in a long time over on my Instagram page. It's just a nice little tribute to, you know, my journey as an illustrator. It's only been like 2 weeks now of learning Illustrator, and I'm leaps and bounds, honestly. Well, to be honest, it's just Photoshop at the end of the day. It's everything I was doing in Photoshop, just streamlined and also vectorized, which is really good, because I was finding that when I was setting up my poster store, all the sizes that I was designing in Photoshop, like doing a 4,000 by 5,000 pixel document, means that that's a big file, sure, but like if you want to make an A1 version of that 4,000 by 5,000 pixel thing, like you're going to have to scale that. You're going to have to stretch that up. And sometimes if I did a gradient warp, for example, that'll be super pixelated by the time you scale it up, right? So being able to do it all on Illustrator just means that it's just future-proofing like all of my work for years to come. So very, very excited about this move. This is just a video of me hyping up Illustrator and me and Illustrator. But yeah, I think this looks really cool. I think that it is really cool. I think you are really cool. And I wanted to make a video to tell you all that. Okay? So I guess I have to say this now. You were right. It's the only time I'll ever say that on this channel. Okay? You win. I lose. I'm defeated. I am an Illustrator connoisseur now, thanks to you guys. You all pushed me and made me want to be better, you know? And this is the fruit of it all. Me using Illustrator. And I know we haven't known each other for too long. Yeah, this channel's only been around for like 6 months, which is also very long. I thought it was like 3 months. 6 months was a shock to see. But we haven't known each other for long, okay? You haven't been following my journey for long, yeah? But now we, as a collective, will explore what we can do in Illustrator and not piss people off as much as before. I'm sure this video still pissed people off. I'm sure some of you were clenching your fists watching me make a gradient orb and be like, yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. This wasn't a tutorial. Remember, this was not a tutorial. This was a show and tell. Yeah. And if you want to see more videos like this, then let me know. I may or may not do it again. But I did really enjoy showing a few of these things off. I'm just excited. I just want to tell you about it. You know, I'm just excited. Don't blame me. Sorry. But yeah, that's Adobe Illustrator. That's some of the cool things that I've learned. I hope you took something away from it. And if not, I hope you enjoyed the funnies. The funny video. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Yep. Thanks so much for watching today's video. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you watching these videos. I am glad you enjoy them as much as I make them. I'm glad you enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them. I really do have a lot of fun with them. If you want to see more Elliot and more Adobe Illustrator Elliot, then make sure you come along to my Twitch stream. In very exciting news, Design Chef Season 6 has started. We had a huge audience there last week for the Season 6 premiere, and it absolutely went off. It was like some of the most fun I've had on stream in ages. I do it every Friday at 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Most of my viewers and followers worldwide are in the United States of America. So I will say that for you, that is Thursday night. I think it's like around like 5 to 8 p.m. for you if you're in the US. It depends on where you are. It's a big country. Look it up. It's all over my Instagram. But Design Chef is like the best thing. I'm obsessed with it. It's my favorite thing ever. So if you're looking for a little bit of creative inspiration, you want to do some design with other people that's not for clients, it's just for the fun of it, it's just for the sake of designing, then come along to Design Chef, come along to the Twitch streams in general. I think you really will like them. And maybe I'll see you there. Let me know if you're from YouTube. Maybe I'm live right now. You should go check. You can also check out my print store if you're curious and you want to get some Elliot on your wall. That's always great. And yeah, otherwise, I think that's it for all the plugs. Thanks again to Brady and Gio for teaching me a lot of this stuff. Make sure you go follow those two loose units. Their links are in the description. They'd love to see you in their Twitch chats and in their Instagram comments. Go give them some love. And I will see you guys next week for the next video. How good are weekly uploads? You guys happy with them? You like all this? It's good, isn't it? It's fun. I think it's quite good. I'm really enjoying it. Expect more Illustrator in the future. Expect more Elliot in the future. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye to the dog. Is my new dog. God, I love this dog. Best impulse purchase of my life. See you next time.